Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone all over the world. We're really excited to be hosting another product webinar. I'm Barry Muller. I do product marketing at Demostack, and with me is
Hi, I'm a product lead here at Demostack.
cool. So Donna, product lead at Demostack. She's an all-star. Yael, I'm filling in for Yael, who's also one of the product leads that helped set up some of the things I'm going to go over with her today. She has some sick kids at home, so I was happy to fill in. And today we have really so much to talk about. It's literally the product team. One of the benefits as a PMM that actually works has the luxury of working in an office or a hybrid, so I can also work at home. I get to see the sweat and tears that our product team and R&D team has been putting in, and also the laughs. It's not just tears, but they've been really working really hard to make Demostack the best product, and really everyone's that's attending their demo HQ, their headquarters, their mission control to run everything most. And the products that we're going to discuss today are first, we're going to start with the new layout that will help bring demo governance much more efficiently. Then we're going to go into what Donna was a product owner of, our overlay feature that lets you build a demo from a live app. So traditionally, it's only been from a clone. Now you're able to do it from a live app, and that's really interesting and something that is pretty revolutionary for our prospects, but also our customers. And she'll talk more about that and how to get into the beta and everything. But it's going to be launched very shortly for all of our customers. Then we're going to go into take a deep dive on tours. I think our last tours webinar was about 4 months ago. Since then, we've ran we've upgraded and added some features that make tours so much easier. I know firsthand because I've been I made a recent enablement tour on the new object system, if you got a chance to see it. So something that I probably would have, that was much more challenging literally a month ago, now for me is much easier. So we'll go over that. And time pending, we'll go over the the rest of the Q1 roadmap. And if we don't have time for that, just message me and I'll send it to you after the webinar specifically. And with that, let's just start. Yeah, that work? All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen and talk about the new layout. This will be relatively quick because I just want to make sure that we focus on Donna and tours. And I'm sure everyone, if you've logged into Demostack in the past week, you've already seen the layout. So the layout, this is, here we can start at the dashboard. This is my dashboard, and I'm now in my sales workspace for sales. Just these are one of my workspaces. So one of the very loud. One of the wonderful things about our new layout is not only is it easier to use and leverage, but it also to create more demo governance, but also brings in new analytics that is accessible and at your fingertips. So here we are at the sales workspace, and as you see in the beginning, or on the top, if you will, there's a sale. It says sales, and it doesn't say tours or demos or clones. So the way to do that now, we've put it into one space, into this dropdown, where you can go to all types. Here you have a demo, a clone, and a tour. So instead of it being different folders on top, it actually is in this dropdown of all types. So I'll click demo, and I get to see all my demos. I'll click tour. I see my one tour I made. Of course, for people that, and here are the clones. Of course, if your users, like your presenters, don't have access to the clones, they won't be able to see this. So let's talk about some of the cool things of analytics that you can see right from here. One, you can see right away what's been presented. So for example, you can see how many times it's been presented. So it's been presented, this one, 7 times. It's also been shared twice. This one's been presented once, and this one's been presented four times. I think that's just to give you right away some a view of analytics. So now I'm going to click into the analytics demo, and right away I get to see some of the some of the data points. So over here, I can see that's been presented 4 times in the last 30 days, and it's been visited 3 times. So that I think is really cool. And over here, I can also see these screens. That I can also see some of the screens of this demo. I also want to go. I'll show you this one. This is a micro demo one, and so as you see, it's pretty consistent throughout. That you'll be able to. This one I've never shared anything, so that's why there's no data, and you can see some of the presentations. So here we have more presentations. I can do a drill down on the presentations, and I can see every time I presented. As you see, this is a poor sales organization, since it's only me presenting in this example. But here I presented to Amazon, OpenAI a few times, and it says that the management can get a better idea who is presenting and when they're presenting, and then they can even do. You can share from here, and you can archive it from here. Cool. Let me go to one that we've actually shared. Let's go into this one. This one is a tour, and I'm going to go into the shares, and you see, me again, where I'm able. It's me that's doing the sharing, but it shows my link type, and this is where I can manage the shares and the types, and then I can even do a drill down and press visited. I see that Sam at OpenAI opened this gated website tour. He looked at it, or she looked at it for 6 seconds and did 4 out of 6 steps, which I think is really interesting, that you're able to see that drill down. But what if I don't want to see a drill down and I just want to see every person that has opened and gone through it? I can do that by clicking the activity button and seeing everyone that has clicked on it. So these are some of the data points that I think are really cool and really interesting to see. And now I just want to also show one last thing about the new object system is you'll see that now it's changed up a little bit, where you're actually presenting and previewing it before that the presentation goes live. So here, let's do a opportunity, I don't know, Acme, replace with Acme, and I press review. And now, instead of it going straight to a presentation, it goes straight into the preview. And this will help, one, make analytics a little bit better, so that people that are just looking to test it, they're not just pressing present now to make sure it's accurate. But also, too, I think it gets everyone in the mindset. This is kind of what we were talking about, demo governance, to actually look at the work beforehand, and even prepare for a demo in advance. So, for example, someone is before an airplane trip, wants to make sure that all the variables have gone in and practice the flow beforehand. They can, and they can save the presentation for later after they sit, or they can press present now. And so I think that data is really important and really interesting. And I think it will change the people, how your sales organization does demos, and the mindset of presenting demo. If they don't want to look at it, they can also, it's just one extra click and it'll take them an extra 3 seconds. So they do have that out. And so, yeah, so that's the new layout. It's a redesign that I think everyone will gain a lot of value to, not only the admins, but also the presenters. So cool. I will discard changes, and I will stop my sharing to give Donna control. Over to you, Donna.
Okay, thank you, Barry, and hi, everyone. Very happy to be here. So as Barry mentioned before, we continue with our mission in enabling you with the best tools to tell your product story. And we definitely understand the need in creating and presenting demos in a very efficient and streamlined way. And this led us to introduce a new way for creating demos, among many other features that I'll mention some of them as we go. So very soon, probably in the next 2 weeks, you will be able to create demos based on your production environment. No cloning and no coding involved. This basically means that we give you the ability to mask your actual product with a layer of edits, so your demo makes perfect sense. Let's see it in action. Okay. So from now on, when you create new demos, you'll need to choose the base for your new demo, a cloned app versus a live app. And for the purpose of this example, of course, I'll go with live app. The next step is to choose the app and to enter the URL of the app or the website that you want to base the demo on and apply a layer of edits to. And for today, I'll go with an app that I think most of you saw during our sales or demo process, RevPower. And as I mentioned before, this is the real application. So in order to navigate through it and look at it, I'll have to log in. And as I said before, no cloning and no coding is involved. So the entire app is here. This is the actual RevPower, fully interactive. Everything is here. The only difference is that we have our editor layered on top. Before I get to editing, I hope you all noticed, as Barry mentioned, the mini facelift that the editor has been getting in the past few weeks. We've consolidated the 4 working modes that used to be here to 2 working modes that are now on the top for better orientation and general user experience. We've improved significantly, I believe, our find and replace, both in terms of user experience and in terms of capabilities, with advanced text matching, increased character limitations, and many more coming this way. I'd be really happy to get your feedback or any questions on anything editing related. I hope we have time for questions in the end. But now back to editing demos based on live applications. So as you guys know, live applications naturally gets updated frequently. And in a lot of cases, it's without the go-to-market's knowledge or even awareness, which means that these demos need to be very much bulletproof for any issues that might come up. And this is why all of the edits in these types of demos will be based on a find and replace mechanism as opposed to specific edits. And this makes sure that even when the app changes or elements change their location or even are deleted, your edits will stay put where they're relevant. Let's see some edits in action then. Let's say I want to change Acme into Demostack. So you see within a few short seconds, it updated everywhere. Let's say I want to change Jane Doe to my picture. This is, by the way, a sneak peek to our new find and replace images feature.
That's also for cloning.
That's also for cloning, yes. And as you see, it changed in all relevant places. And to complete it, I want to change Jane Doe to my name. Of course, you can still utilize variables like in the demos based on cloned apps. So let's see, for example, I want to create a variable for a name. So whenever I present this demo, it can catch a different name, but I'll start it with the default with my name. Then I can go to the find and replace rules. These are all the rules that we just created together. And I'll edit it to be a variable. And of course, you'll see it gets updated here. I'll click save. And you'll see once it's saved that it looks exactly like a regular demo because it is a regular demo. From here, you can go to the give it demo flow like Barry showed with the variables and the preview. And it is a real demo based on your actual real deal product, which I think is amazing. And there are so many things that we believe you can do with it. One important note, because it is the real deal, as I mentioned, this demo specifically these types of demos, cannot be shared as sandboxes. If you want to share, then of course you can still use your clones or a tour, depends on your use case. I'll stop sharing and hand it back to Barry. Maybe we have some questions.
Yeah, so we'll look at some of the questions, but I also wanted to hear some of the reasons, Donna, why would you want to use overlay over cloning? Are there any specific use cases that you think would be more relevant for?
Yeah, so when your app has a very, let's say, a very important contact with your backend, for example, if you have search in your app, or if you have data that changes dynamically very often and you want to show live data, then of course you'd want to show your live product. Because cloning, you clone it and at some point that it freezes in time, which is a great advantage, and it's very good for some use case. But for other use cases, you would want to base your demos on live applications. So that's one example I can think of.
Okay, so live data would, for example, chat would that work?
Chat will also work.
Okay, love that. And just trying to think of another one. Search,
chat, live data, maps, everything. It is your real application after all.
Yeah, I love that. And and then I think from an admin perspective, there's some aspects that'll be easier. For example, you won't need to clone every page because it's your real app after all, right? Yeah. So then, if it sounds like too good to be true, what are some of the benefits to cloning that we don't have if we use this application? So we mentioned already that you won't be able to share a sandbox. What are one or two other things that give cloning the edge if you?
I think cloning mainly gives you the stability, and because it's unattached to the live product. So if the live product is down, so is your demos in this case. And the clone being a separate environment really gives you the confidence and the stability that there are no replacement for. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Yeah, and performance. I think an example I've seen a few people to discuss is like that micro demo that you would need to use a cloning, which actually it's not announced yet, but I announced it 2 days ago, yesterday, that actually Guardrails is now available for cloning, but that is not available for overlay. So that's where that's not available if you build off your live app. So that's where some of the differences come in play. And you're welcome to ask your questions on that about your use case, or to us, or to also CSs. I'm just going to read a few of the questions. First of all, I want to read some of the comments. Before we got questions, love the new layout. Holy crap. So yeah, keep that up. Our team likes to see this. So I'll start with the last question I saw. Sorry if I missed this. Can live overlays be used for tours?
So you can base your tours on an overlay that you created. Yes, if I understood the question correctly. And I can also say, and maybe Barry will talk about that in the tour section, that you'll soon be able to create a tour directly from your live application with the need of creating a demo first. Mm-hmm. So that's also coming, and I hope that answers your question.
Cool. How can I get on the beta? I can't wait 2 weeks. I think you're on beta as of that comment.
Reach out to your CSM so he can reach out to me, and we'll make it work.
Yeah. And then this is a technical one. Generally in webinars, I don't like to go too technical, but because Brian is so excited for this, let's take a deep dive on this technical question. Our app requires authentication from vendor integrations. So like in-app, it has complex import functionalities. Do you imagine that the live app demo, the overlay of edits will break as soon as you turn into integration? Where do you see it coming with that?
I think we'll have to look deep into the use case to know, but generally speaking, it should work. But Brian, let's get you on that beta and look at it together, and we'll give you all the answers.
Yeah, okay. And if someone has any follow-up questions about overlays, about building off this for tours, or feel free to ask a follow-up question. All good. So cool. That was awesome. Something really that the company has been working tirelessly on, Donna specifically, but also the whole company. It's been an all effort. We've silently launched it on our website this past week, and we're going to be announcing it to all of our, to the world in the coming weeks. But we wanted to give everyone here a sneak peek, and to ask to get access for the beta, because that is important to us. Great. Now I'm going to go over tours. I'll go through some of the basics, and then we'll get to some of the more technicalities and of the new features ASAP. Cool. Let me share my screen. Okay. You see my screen, Donna? Yes. All right. Wonderful. So now I'm just going to go to webinars. This is a workspace I made for webinars. So you see, I had a webinar 3 months ago, and then I have a webinar today. We're even going to go to the basics of just creating the clone. We'll do this quickly, obviously, because I believe most people, if not all people, know how to do this. I'm creating a clone. I'm going to press start cloning, press overview, website analytics, finance, just to remind everyone. This website is a fictitious company that we built here at Demostack. I'm talking about Demo HQ. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to build apps like this. So I've cloned everything in general. I'm going to stop cloning. Clone name. Let's name this webinar 2123 clone. And I'm going to open it in the editor. The reason I'm opening it in the editor is because in order to create a tour, you have to do one edit today. So we'll just give it a sec. I think it's a little slower because I'm screen sharing. There we go. Or because I was mentioning to my coworkers today, when it rains in Israel, the internet gets slower. So actual facts. So there we go. I changed it from a 4 to a 5. And then now I'm going to delete the word clone. This is how I use my name conventions, but everyone has their own name conventions. Save that, and now I have one demo ready to create a tour from. So as you see here, I could create a tour from here, but I'm going to make one more clone. We'll do it quickly. Actually, you know what? We'll just use one of the clones I created today to make it even easier. So now I'm going to go to the info page of webinar 2123 demo and press create tour. Got it. I want to start capturing right away my main screen. I want to point out this, and I also want to point out this hover. Up until today, it's actually been really hard to capture, or up until this month, it's been really hard to capture hovers. But we added this thing called snapshot feature. So if everyone can see my mouse cursor where it says snapshot and how to do it and how to use it with your keyboard, shortcut. So I press Control or Command on the Mac plus Shift plus S. So I'm going to point to here, Command for me on my Mac, Shift S, and as you see on the left side, it created something. Let's do it one more time. Command, Control, Shift. Command, Control, Shift. I got it. All right. So that's really cool, the keyboard shortcut, because it allows you to capture hovers that maybe weren't previously been able to capture specifically on tours. I've also seen some of our users use it for text that they wanted to replace even during tour capturing. So that's really cool and I think really helpful. I'm going to go over here and do it. I like to create a story specifically with the social media sources. So I want to specifically point out Instagram. And so then I screen capture. Sometimes when I'm creating a tour, I like taking extra precaution and just do a screenshot without any hovers to make sure that no by accident hovers came in, because that sometimes happens because how our tour technology works is that it captures everything from start to finish. So if your mouse went over a hover, it could by accident, what I call it, capture unwanted hovers. So I also like doing that. Let's screen capture using the button for that one. And now I know for sure I have it without a hover and I can then hide it later. So I think that's really nice. Let's do one more. LinkedIn. Great. Now I'm going to press finish and edit. So I've just created a tour. It's the first time I'm creating this tour. And I'll just let it load for a sec. We'll build a tour with this, but we'll build a tour and some tool tips and talk about some best practices. And shortly I'll show you how to add frames. That's the other feature that I want to specifically talk about. That actually has not been announced. Again, you guys are get access to this early, and or get to hear about it early, where you're actually able to add tour frames. And that's really cool because you can take that from any demo, whether that be a demo created from your live app or whether that be a demo created from a different clone. Great. And so here I'm just going to make my first step. This is my best practices. I have a lot of buttons here with the Zoom webinar, excuse me. So for me, I always like doing that. The first tooltip is in the middle of the page, and it's like becomes like a welcome mat, if you will. Welcome to the webinar tour. I like since it's a title, I capitalize it, I make it bigger, and then I like to give context. So like in this tour, you will learn how to add frames, how to use the step counter, and how to rearrange frames. I spell that right? No, I didn't. Nice. I'm glad it has spell check in it. I also like adding emojis, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that now. I'm also going to make that bigger. That's not 189, but 18. And that for me is what I like to do with my tours. Now I'm going to just, this is the one that I captured with the hover. So as you see, it's not sticking to anything because I didn't click a specific element when I did this step counter, but it's very clear to me that the hover is there. I need to find an element that's close to it. So I found that one that's relatively close. Or I could even find maybe I can find a better one. Oh, here, even better. So it covers the hover, so that would defeat the purpose, but I can put it over here. And now I can say, wow, look how much sales we made on February 5th coming up. So that's really exciting. And that's something that's very relevant and to show the captured hovers. And I'm just gonna move on, close that one. And now here is one of the one that had Instagram hover captured. So I'm just going to find something close to it without being too overwhelming. So there we go. And I will say Instagram 20 of my leads came from Instagram. I actually don't love where the hover is, where it's with the thing it's attached to, because I want the title to be there. So I'm gonna redo it and do it like that. And now it's very clear that 20 of my leads came from Instagram, which I think is really cool. As a marketer, that's why I guess I'm going to that direction. Cool. And see, here's the LinkedIn one. Cool. LinkedIn, excuse me, was also effective. Great. Something that also is helpful for everyone here is that I can change this to 18 and then I can press apply to all. And obviously that will override this. So I usually do the titles of my front and last page last. But now we come to add frames. So the reason I would want to add frames is multiple reasons. One, maybe I want to show a different view. So this is like the admin view. Maybe I want to show the customer view. So it's like a different role. That's super effective for this, that you could show different roles. Soon, in the coming, I'd say this quarter, you'll be able to create a tour from any URL. And then with that, you'll be able to show even different apps within a tour, which I think will be pretty game-changing for the tours, is how flexible that will be. That's also really useful. Another thing is, and obviously then if you could do different roles and different apps, you can obviously do different of your own products, which I think will be very helpful. For me, something that's really helpful, and that's what I'm going to show in this use case, is how can I help me create tours quicker and more efficiently? Let's say I forgot to do something, or let's say my product actually has an update and I don't want to create a whole new tour from scratch. So this is very helpful for that use case. So I'm going to press add frame or add. And over here, you see this nice thing. It says this is what the tour is based on. And I'm going to add one more. So let's see, demo for Kanban clone. I'm going to press this. Frames captured here will be added to your existing tour. When you're ready, click capture new frames. Got it. I'm going to go to my Kanban. I'm going to press capture new frames. All I really want to do is actually just capture this frame. Oops. I'm going to actually now press the screen shot feature to make sure I didn't catch any unwanted buttons there. And then I'm going to press finish and add frames. And already, as you see, Donna and whoever, and to all of our customers, you see these tag or button, if you will, that says new. And so it's very clear to me. Right now, it doesn't matter so much, but if I have like 50 frames, it's very easy for me to understand what was just added. And you see, there it is. It's already added. I can, edit it. This is how you use the Kanban app. And then I would just describe it here. And this is the tooltip that I caught by accident, so I'm going to hide it. But nice to see. And I'm just going to hide the rest because I only wanted to show one of those frames. And then it goes back to my original frame to end it off. So the add frame, just to be specific, where the add frame specifically is helpful, as I mentioned before, for those new roles, those new users, and new updates. And I think it'll really change the game for frames. Cool. What else? Questions for tours? Any questions? If you have any other questions on best practices for tours, I'm pretty passionate about it as a marketer. So feel free to reach out. And thanks for coming on to discuss that. I think for the next part, without any questions, we actually do have time to talk about our Q1 roadmap. Donna and I will both go slide by slide, and we'll wing it from there. So let's do this. Okay, so this, maybe your CS has shown it to you, but if they haven't, I think this will be really interesting, our product roadmap. So I'll go through quickly from this slide, but the next slides are where we take a deeper dive. So this is what's planned for Q1. Again, caveat, all items can shift and are not guaranteed. But for the platform, we have integrations coming, which I think is really exciting. Salesforce and HubSpot. Obviously, you've seen all the updates with the new layout and the redesign, so they've already done a lot. But the integrations are going to be huge. Salesforce is a product I'm working on from a product marketing perspective to launch. It's coming out very soon, within hopefully within February, early March. And editing, we have image variables coming out in the coming weeks, and demo linking global CSS editing with overlay, or the app that Donna showed earlier. You'll be able to support charts with image variables and global CSS editing. Tours, something that's really exciting for tours is, I think everything's really exciting, but something exciting for tours, you'll be able to do unified tours editing, which means not only will you be able to only, today you can only edit tooltips. And if you wanted to edit the actual product, you would have to edit on the demo level. In the future, late Q1, you'll be able to actually edit both of those at the same time. Add and replace tour frames, we just launched, hoorah. Capture any web app, that's the any URL piece that we were talking about. Analytics, we've just launched more analytics. We're going to have even more from an org level perspective. And the desktop app, which is actually really exciting, we might have its own session, will be able to support editor and overlay and tours and new info pages, which is really exciting that our customers, like you guys and your sales team and you, will be able to use the desktop app to present where it's clutter-free, there's no distractions, and there's actually benefits from a cloning perspective because it solves some of the issues that we see when you clone on your web app. So Dan, I'll let you take the editor away.
Yes. So we know how much you love variables, text variables. So image variables are coming soon. So image variables are placeholders that holds an image, so you can fully personalize all of your presentations, but based on a single demo. So think about switching logos, profile pictures in one go. So that's image variables, which is coming this Q. We'll also allow adding custom CSS and, spoiler alert, also custom JavaScript snippets. Yes, to your demos for full customization capabilities, so you get full control of your demo. Yes, and another capability, which I don't know if it's in the next slide, the demo linking.
No,
so I'll mention it briefly here. Demo linking will allow you to edit links within your demo, so you can either link it to external pages such as knowledge base, pricing pages, you name it, and also to other assets from your Demostack workspace, such as other demos, tours, and so on, which creates a very, very, I think, a world of opportunities. So stay tuned for that.
All right. As you see, Donna and her team are working hard to help create a better editor experience for all. Tours, I actually just mentioned all of it, but you have the Tours frame editor, capture any web app, and add and rearrange forms and tours, possibly in the desktop app. So let's go to org level analytics. Do you want to take this, or do you want me to take it?
No, I think you can do it better than I will.
All right. So this one I'm also working closely with Elora and his team. And org level analytics is really exciting. It will give you that complete picture of all your demo data. So today, all the demo data is based on a presentation level, or on a demo level, excuse me. So you have to dive into each demo template. It's really helpful for that use case, but it doesn't give you the bird's eye view unless you integrate it into Salesforce, which we'll talk about shortly, and then build a report. So this is a workaround of not needing to build a report on Salesforce, because we'll build that report for you. So you'll be able to get a snapshot of what's being demoed, see who's demoing, how often, and to whom, and see who, for example, opened the sandbox last, which I think is really useful from in this economy. You want to know everyone that is interested in your product. And if you see that they're opening a sandbox or a tour, you want to be able to hop on a call with them or email them and reach out to them, because you know that they're an active lead. Here, so I'll take this one also. The desktop app speaker panel. So again, desktop app will be live for everyone. And also, if you're interested in the desktop app for beta, please reach out to your CSM or to me directly. Would be happy to help connect you to the product manager on desktop. But they've been making amazing strides with desktop recently, and it's now in beta for many of our users are using it, and they're doing amazing things with it. But we're also adding a speaker panel, which I think is pretty nifty. It's kind of like elevating that speaker experience and giving sales teams more confidence, because they'll have notes, they'll have a timer, they'll even have a interactive cursor that pulses when you click, and lots of other nifty things that I think will be helpful to create a better sales experience. So at Demostack, we're not just interested in helping SEs, but we also want adoption by AEs and by SEs that aren't admins. So I think this will be a big way to create more adoption for you and make it easier to the point where you don't even have to ask people to do it. They'll be wanting and begging you to get the Demostack desktop app. Cool. You want to go over this and I'll add some commentary?
Yes, Salesforce integration, a two-way Salesforce integration to enrich the data that you have in Salesforce with Demostack, so you get better insights on how to make good decisions and close more deals, which is quite an exciting one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about, right? Is having that data that's accessible for everyone at any time. And most of our customers use Salesforce, And I think it'll give management the ability to get dashboards. It'll give RevOps the ability to create real-time alerts for those sandbox visits. And it gives people that flexibility of just creating one spot for data, and might as well be your CRM. We're happy if you use Demostack to see your analytics, but we also know a lot of our customers like having it in one spot. So that's where this Salesforce is coming in. And then finally, HubSpot. HubSpot is more of a marketing tool for a lot of our users, not as a sales tool, and this will help get leads from gate. So we're gonna make it easier to gate tours, something that I didn't discuss tonight. And once those tours are gated, then you'll be able to get those leads into HubSpot, which I think is also yeah, awesome and really exciting from a marketing tours perspective. So yeah, that's it. I'll stop sharing. I love doing these webinars because I love seeing customers' reactions, and we really appreciate when you reach out. I know that the product team and the product and R&D that doesn't talk to customers every day love seeing good sentiment. So thank you for messaging during this webinar, and thank you for coming to the webinar to learn more. Please stay tuned. Please reach out to your CSM if you want to know more information to get on betas for some of the products that we discussed. And yeah, it's been a great experience for me.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It's been great.
All right, thanks, everyone. Bye.